What's up, everyone? Welcome to MTXChess. My name is Nathan. Thanks for watching this video. Today we're talking about the King-Queen checkmate. This is an absolute chess fundamental. If you don't know this checkmate and you're new to chess, welcome. This is like one of the first things you learn when you start playing chess. If you are brand new to chess, you'll probably notice that you're hanging a lot of your pieces during your games. And you're probably ending your games. Maybe you have a queen and your opponent doesn't, or vice versa. And there's nothing worse than having a lot of material, a lot of extra pieces laying around and not knowing how to checkmate. So that's why we're going over this nice and early, so that you get kind of, you learn how to do this and you get all the kind of devastating stalemates out of your system. So let's just get started. Here we have checkmate. This is what it looks like. The queen is attacking the black king and she's taking away his escape squares. Meanwhile, she's being protected by the white king. The queen is such a powerful piece, she can checkmate in a couple different ways. This is checkmate, obviously. If we set up a position like this, this would also be checkmate. The king in this position can be on either side of the queen, doesn't really matter, as long as the queen is within one square of the white king. So that's checkmate, and it's also checkmate like this. The white king is taking away black's escape squares, and the white queen is delivering check along this rank. So the question is, how do we get into this kind of position? Let's set up a random position and try it out. In this position right here, let's say it's white to move. The key to the king-queen checkmate is understanding a concept called the box. What we're going to do is we're going to make a box with the queen, and the box is going to get smaller and smaller until the king is ultimately checkmated. So right here, white would move something like queen c5. Here's our box, right? Basically, the black king is restricted to the squares within this box. And what's super important to understand about this checkmate is that, remember, because the queen moves to all of these squares right around her, the black king can never approach the white queen. So the queen is really able to do a lot of the dirty work in this checkmate, and the king can kind of just come in at the end and finish the black king off. So in this position, it's black to move. Let's say they move here. We can do this again, check. And now the box is getting even smaller. Let's say they go here. When black retreats towards the side of the board, we want to make sure that we take the real estate that they're giving us. So a move that would do that is queen d6. Here's our box. Notice that the box is getting thinner and thinner. The king's going to end up stuck on the back of the board. Let's say the king comes here. We can make the box smaller even again with the queen coming over. There's our box. Now let's say the king went to h8. Now the black king is completely stuck in the corner. This is where the box analogy kind of fails us. Here's our current box, and we could make the box smaller by going either queen g6 or queen f7. For instance, if we went queen f7, now the box is literally super small. The problem is this box is too small. The queen also takes away this g8 square. The black king has nowhere he can go. This is called stalemate, and the result of a game that ends this way is a tie. If you're white and you have a king and a queen and you tie, well, you made a mistake. We really want to avoid any situation like this. If we go back to this position, we've been using the box up to this point, but we need to understand that we're at risk of stalemating our opponent if we make the box too small. When the king moves up either into the corner or to any side of the board, we need to make a move that pins the king up against the side of the board while giving the king breathing room. He needs to be able to move around safely, so we don't have to worry about stalemate. There's a couple different moves that could do that. Obviously, these moves are off limits. What we could do is move the queen to e7, and here's our box, and the king will have at least 2 squares to move to, which is all he needs. We could do queen d7, and the king here's our box, and the king would have 3 squares, right? Or can you think of another move we could do? We could do queen g4, right? Queen g4 come down here. Here's our box. Instead of pinning the king against the 8th rank, we're now pinning him against the h file, and the king is stuck milling about on these 3 squares until the game is over. Let's say we played queen g4. Now it's black to move. He'll play king h7. It's important to know that once the queen has the black king, the opponent's king, pinned up against the side of the board, doesn't matter which side of the board, it's now time for the white king to come in and do the work. I kind of think of the white king as like literally a king who has everyone else do his work for him and then just comes in at the end to finish it all off. So here comes the king. And the goal with the king is to get really across from the black king, right? In this situation, you're basically across. The white king is covering this attacking square for the queen, and so queen g7 checkmate. So that's the king-queen checkmate. I cannot stress enough the importance of understanding the concept where these two squares are off limits for the white queen. Moving here will result in stalemate, and that's not a way you want to end a game. Always, whenever you're pinning the king down, especially when the king is in the corner, watch out and give the king enough space and enough breathing room so that you don't accidentally stalemate your opponent. I will show one more stalemate. If you bring your king in too early, if you bring your king in before your queen has pinned them to the side of the board, you could end up in a situation like this. And this is also stalemate. The white queen takes away these squares, and the white king takes away this square. The black king has nowhere to go. That's stalemate. My advice to you would be to maneuver with the white queen until you've got the black king up against the side of the board. And then once the king's pinned up against the side of the board with plenty of space to avoid stalemate, that's when you start to bring the white king in to finish the job. So yeah, that's the king-queen checkmate. You want to avoid this position right here, but I'll set up the final one. That's the king-queen checkmate. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate those of you who have commented and subscribed. We got new videos coming every week. You don't want to miss them. So hit subscribe, smash the like button, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.